Hi, YouTube. So, have you happened to be looking for a build of a V-wing, something that hasn't been done by Lego in almost 10 years now, and happen to have a 75301 X-wing set lying around? Then I think we might have something that you could enjoy building. So this is actually by a Rebrickable builder by the name of Cubeworrier, all one word, and he has created this, in my mind, very nice V-wing out of an existing build kit for an X-wing, the latest one, in fact, which is set number 75301. And that kit is very well built in my mind. So he's starting with a very nice set of tools. And as you can see here, he did an excellent job of capturing all the things that make the V-wing unique, despite being kind of confined by the limited pieces that are available in a different, set. So this, as you can see, has about 326 pieces in it, which is actually below the 426 that come with the 75301. So you are going to end up with a few extra leftover pieces. But he did that and still created a very distinct and nice build and didn't over-engineer it just to use up all those extra pieces. Sometimes with rebrickable builds that are built as alternate creations, you see them trying to use every single stud and plate in there, and they end up almost over-engineering the entire design. And in here, he forewent that and decided to actually just keep it at the minimum and allow it to keep the slim lines. But even though it's slim, it's not small, and that was one of my biggest gripes with the actual Lego sets over the years, is that they were always feeling just underwhelming. Most of them were a couple hundred pieces, and the size and the weight of them just didn't seem to do it justice compared to the images you see in books and the occasional time you saw it actually in series like Rebels. And to me, it didn't really deliver. Well, this kind of answers those questions. This is a very compact build. You're still talking 8 or 9 inches from tip to tail, about 7 or 8 inches from the top to the bottom of the side wings, and only about 6 inches across. But it doesn't feel like it's under scale. It feels like it's right in scale with these, and I'm looking forward to displaying these with its predecessors, and such as the X-wing and the TIE Fighter, as well as, lining it up with the ARC 170 and V19 builds I have. I think it really does fit in scale with those particular sets that are already out there. Again, it's a very solid build. There are a few points through the instructions, which are very well done. When you download the PDF, which is free, you will have no issues. Just pay attention. Make sure you do a stud counts as you're going through, just to make sure some of the pieces are properly connected. And that's nothing due to his problem or due to any problems with his instructions. It's more just due to my lack of attention, where I was off by one stud as I was building the center line and ended up having to take it back apart. So again, nothing with his instructions. It was just on my lack of attention. But as you're building this, you'll have no issues with the instructions. They're very clear, and he does a great job of taking existing pieces for an X-wing and making them into the look and feel of what you would have expected on the V-wing. As you can see, the engine, the 4 engines of the X-wing play critical roles in the actual structure and frame of the V-wing. This pilot, of course, does not come with 75301. That was a piece that I did pick up off of Bricklink. Of course, the R2 unit, though, is, and that's great that he also took the time to build the astromech cockpit, which in some builds I've seen was not something that was included. So kudos to him for actually having that attention to detail, including the unique use of the laser cannon design and using all the Technic pins to do that. I think he did a really great job with this. It does also include a landing gear, but I'm choosing to display it in flight mode. And as you can see here, these red stands are my own. They are not included or part of the build, so they're just something I threw together quickly to display this. So he does include build and leverages pieces to display this in a landed configuration. But honestly, I love to display these type of aircraft the way I feel they should be displayed in flight, where you can really put out the angles and the wings and whatnot and really get that impression of flight. But that does lead to one small thing that I wish could have been done, and it's nothing that he designed incorrectly. It's just the way it is. I like to display these type of models when they're in flight with, of course, some translucent blue to give that illusion of the engines actually being engaged and on. And just through the use of the way the Technic pins are inserted into these wheel hubs, there's just minimal room, so you can't just actually attach a translucent blue piece to the back of that. You could use one of these, lightsaber pieces per se, but they're just too long. You'd have to cut it down to probably right about there. And I am thinking about doing that so I have just enough of a grip to get it into that Technic hole and secure it. So again, nothing that's a problem due to his instructions. It's just the way it is built, and that's something I can do later on down the line. Probably my only issue with this at all, and it's nothing, again, that he did wrong. It's just that these side wings are actually connected through a single stud, and that's just the limitation of the pieces that he's using. So while you can move and adjust these wings, if you move these too much, it'll pop right off of that center stud right there. And it's very easy to reconnect it. But, for young users, if you were going to give this to a child person, let's say to play with, he's going to swoosh it a few times and he's probably going to be bringing it back to you repeatedly to put the wings back on. I think this is better for a older builder or a display collector like myself that just likes to build them and kind of show them off in a static build. But again, if you do have children that want to play with it, they can do that. It takes all of a couple seconds to reconnect the wings. And the wing itself does stay together very well, even if it does disconnect from that point. So this isn't going to fall apart and turn into 20 pieces. It literally just pops off of that single stud behind the white brick there, and then you just reapply it and you're fine. So again, that is just a minor gripe, and even the builder does warn you about that in his comments on Rebrickable. So if you're interested in building this, just go to the Rebrickable website and either look for V-Wing or 75301 V-Wing. And again, the builder's name is Cubeworrier, all one word, and you can quickly find these instructions. And I don't think you'd be disappointed either to use this as an alternate build for an X-Wing kit, or if you just wanted to buy the pieces off the Bricklink site and give it a shot yourself. That's actually what I did with this, because I have the 75301, but I just didn't want to tear it apart. So I cheated and went to Bricklink and bought the pieces, and it was very easy, very inexpensive, no issues at all. All the parts are still actively in production, so there's no parts that are going to break the bank for you in this build. So again, great overall build, very true in my mind to the size and stature and scale of the build, and a fun, less than an hour to assemble type of construction. So highly recommend it to any users out there. If you have any questions or would like to see maybe some different angles or how I did particular things, I'd be happy to show you. Feel free to reach out in the comments. I did include a small couple-minute speed build, and I apologize for the poor video quality on that. I didn't realize that the camera had actually shifted slightly, so it's a bit out of focus in a few areas. So in the future, I will try to get a lot better at that. I do plan on doing more mock builds from Rebrickable, just because I don't think they get enough attention, and there are just some tremendous builds out there, like you can see in the background, the Holiday X-Wing that I did in a previous video, that are they're just not widely known. And once you see them and give them a try, I think, it just further enhances the enjoyment of the Lego system. So again, have a great day. Any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Take care and have a great day.